Good morning. Thank you for having us. There we go. So I'm a geologist. I'm obviously going to make some forward-looking statements. I just can't help myself. I'd also like to acknowledge that we are exploring on the lands of the Wabigoon Lake First Nation and the Eagle Lake First Nation, located in Dryden, Ontario. So I'll give you a little overview on why Dryden, why are we exciting. So our team is made up of both technically sharp people. Myself, I'm a geologist, our VP of Exploration, Anna Hickens, who've worked in this type of gold for many, many years. Our board and management has a lot of experience with bringing shareholder value through M&A. So we're explorers. We're trying to find something new and really make a new discovery in this area. The investment upside really is we are looking for high-grade gold. We're in a camp that has all of the right geologic ingredients, but has seen very little exploration. So it's very exciting to make new discoveries. We've been able to attract some very interesting strategic investments, just as Chan said. We announced last month that Centerra had put in a 9.9 placement. So very exciting, and that brings me to our shareholder list. Every time Trey and I tell this story, we get more and more excited people joining our shareholder list. It's pretty exciting looking for high-grade gold. And maybe best of all, this project's located right off the Trans-Canada Highway. So I actually live in the Dryden area. We have excellent infrastructure, hydro, rail. So this is not a remote project. This is very inexpensive exploration, and it's a big opportunity for us. So where are we located? That's a good place to start. If you were to drive across Canada, between Winnipeg and Thunder Bay, you'd need to take a pit stop in Dryden. Stop at our Tim Hortons, and you'll see we're right in the heart of a city of Dryden. We're just south of Red Lake, and I'll make a lot of comparisons to that. I spent about 8 years of my career in Red Lake, so I'll explain why I see so many similarities between the Red Lake camp and the Dryden camp. Very similar geologic setting, and one thing I'd like to point out is these type of Archean lode gold deposits are usually very, very deep. There was historic mining in Dryden. It was at the turn of the century, pulled out with horse and buggies across these frozen lakes. Very shallow, only 140 meters. That was the deepest mine in the region. These typically go 1 or 2 kilometers. So we have a lot of depth potential that we are exploring here in the Dryden camp. Our land package is very strategic and very large. We have 70,000 hectares that we've consolidated, and it's all really very specifically selected. Going from the northeast corner to the southwest on this map, you're looking at a major shear zone. We believe that's the key driver and controller of the high-grade gold mineralization. We also have picked up the land on one of the east-west trending structures. That's one of the secondary structures, also important for high-grade gold mineralization. As I said, this area has seen limited exploration, so we have only about 30,000 meters that's been done historically, but that's enough information to give us a great starting point where we know there's high-grade gold here, and now we can unlock it using very good technical techniques, looking at structural geology specifically. We're also in a great neighborhood. Besides the infrastructure, we have Kinross in the camp. We have Next Gold, which was previously Treasury Metals with 3 million ounce resource. We have Dynasty Gold and Kenora Land. So there's some other explorers, and really, again, access is incredible here. I mentioned we know we have high grade from the previous work. These highlights include some of the work we've done. We've been publicly traded only since the beginning of last year, so a very aggressive start to the company being public. The best result on the property is 53,000 grams per ton, so that picture there is actually, all that yellow is free gold. It's very exciting to see a result like that. Having worked in Red Lake for so many years, you don't see gold like that unless you're in a really significant system. So that was one of the drivers to bring me to the project. I saw the opportunity to go in an area with little exploration, but uncover the controls of this high-grade gold mineralization. Some of the work we've done, we're looking at the Gold Rock Camp, which is kind of in the center of this map. That's our main brownfields project. But we feel with this large land package, we have a district play. So we also have 2 other priority exploration targets, Hinman, which is to the east, which we released a press release about on Monday, and Sheridan to the south. And I'll talk a little bit about those in the future slides. I've hinted at this, but I really joined this project because I saw such significant similarities between Dryden and the Red Lake camp. So when you look at this cartoon that I've put together, you see the fold architecture and the faulting. That creates excellent traps for high-grade gold mineralization. And when you look at the geologic map, you can really see those folds and the fault architecture, creating great places to start looking for gold. Over the last year of our exploration, we've really started to see that this is quite true and lots of similarities between the two camps. Now, I mentioned we've only been public for a year, and we had a very aggressive 2024. We had 4 major objectives. The first one, and the first 3 actually relate to our Gold Rock brownfields opportunity. We wanted to expand the footprint, test along strike. Then we wanted to look at the controls of the high-grade structures on the property, get a better technical understanding of why they were there and how we could predict more of them. The third goal was to start predicting more. We stepped out on other targets. One of the first targets we tested, we got 26 grams per ton over 3 meters, showing that we could find new additional high-grade structures in this setting. And then lastly, and I think what really got us the Centerra investment last month, was looking at the district scale potential. So everything we were able to learn in the brownfields space, we've then been able to apply across the entire large property and start to find some really exciting exploration targets. Some of the highlights, 30 grams over almost 6 meters. That was a recent result on the Elora system. And then what we put out on Monday, 34.8 grams per ton on a surface sample, something that we had just found last year and started to explore. So we'll take a closer look at some of the brownfields opportunities here. You're looking at the map. That is outlines of the high-grade gold structures and how they trace on surface. And then where it's circled, we're looking at this long section, and that shows us kind of how the vein acts at depth. And you can see that the drilling here is very shallow. We've done some of the deepest drilling. Our holes are in squares and the stars, and that's only at about 200 meters depth. So there's so much potential, as I said, at depth here, and it's very exciting and a big opportunity for us. I want to talk a little bit about the history here. On that Elora structure, which has the Laurentian mine up to the northeast, that was a 14 gram per ton average grade mine. Now, back at the turn of the century, only mined 240 meters. So there really is some high-grade potential here, and that's what we're searching for. I want to point out again the brownfields opportunity I just showed you, but there is as well grassroots opportunity. We have amazing geophysical coverage over the entire property, 50-meter spacing. We've been able to use that to target the zones that already had been discovered. They pop up and light up based on the geophysical interpretation. We've also gone out and done fieldwork on some of the other targets that have the same signature. Our 2025 program will continue to focus on expanding and understanding the Elora system, where we've had some recent success, 30 grams over almost 6 meters. We've already begun permitting, and we're working very closely with the 2 local First Nations on this to expand to the north in the Gold Rock camp, and then we've also permitted the 2 high-priority regional targets as well. So you'll see us working on expanding those and drill testing those later this year. I'll really quickly just show this to say resource pipelines are important. You want to have a lot of targets if you're looking at a regional prospective camp, and we have a lot. We have so many. You want to be able to rate them quickly, rank them, and then decide whether they stay on to be explored or not. But we're doing that very systematic approach, and that is how we've been able to get the attention of several different majors and the recent investment by Centerra. I'll quickly touch on this because news will be coming out in the next week or 2 on Gold Rock. We did a lot of mapping here. We had one of my favorite geologists live in the bush for 2 months out on this site, and his results are going to be coming back in the near coming weeks. And then the Hinman results that came out on Monday, very exciting to follow up. So the very busy, bright picture on here is the geophysics coverage. You can see all the, I think they're blue or black circles. Those are all of the different targets that popped out of our geophysics study. We were able to go and map just a few of these, and we've had good results on them. It's excellent to see in a surface program, 34 grams per ton pop up, and that other traverse, which is basically the line we walked on, had 1-2 gram results showing that there is mineralization where these geophysical targets are showing us. We have another target to the south that was worked on by the predecessor. Excellent high-grade results from surface, like 600 grams per ton, several others that are over 100 grams per ton, and nice drill results of over 10 grams per ton, one including 84 grams over a meter. So we're definitely starting to see something else here. We're again doing geophysics work here. We did mapping over the summer to better understand what the geologic controls are here, and there'll be more results coming out on this. It's a very exciting year of 2024, and 2025 looks to be even more exciting. Our plan is to go aggressively, continue to explore the Gold Rock target, our brownfields opportunity. We're going to start to test some of the early stage priority regional targets, and then we've had great success with the geophysics so far. We're going to additionally add in till and soil sampling to be able to find additional targets that are undercover that you can't see by prospecting and mapping, which is what we've mainly been doing. But it's showing to be a very exciting year, kind of the outlook of what the year looks like. But since I'm out of time, I want to just follow up on the key reasons to come talk to us more about Dryden and the excellent opportunity that we have at a 15-cent share price. The property is excellent. The team is ready to explore with real explorers, great M&A experience from our management team. We have high-grade gold mineralization. The geology is exactly the right setting for this. And the jurisdiction is fantastic. We're in the middle of Ontario. We have great relationships with the First Nations and infrastructure that is already in place. So thank you.